My friends. Hey everybody, it's Sean MP. It's so interesting, my friends. More light required. Before I get more light, I just want to thank my friends, Alyssa and Brenda. We do need to both lighten the mood, my friends, and we need to enlighten ourselves. And here's the tea, my friends. Oh gosh. I mean, Emmy, we've been trying to tell them, right? Right? Trumpy, that carrot. Right? He's not a carrot top, Trump. He's a carrot rump. Right? You see, I was at Comcast Universal today, my friends, in the old Conan O'Brien production building, number 2220, and I took bus 224 there on the second leg. Ugh. 222. Oh, we need more light. Chiaroscuro. We need more light. Because 222 is the birthday of none other than my beloved Drew Barrymore. Whose longtime bestie and producing partner is married to Jimmy Fallon. Yo, excuse me. Thank you, Lorna Michaels. Thank you, Lorna Michaels. I own Comcast Universal because I'm a Quaker, bro. They called me a magician today. I said funny, didn't I write on Twitter? Declining in influence by the day. Ooh, I gotta use my indoor voice. I forgot. Soto Voce. I said I wrote on Twitter that I was Houdini, right? When I canceled Gettysburg College after everybody saw me become enlightened, my friends. In literally friends is seminary, Germantown. The owner of Comcast Universal, where they welcomed me today. A person who wants to change the world, and I did. The owner of Comcast Universal. went to school a mere 10 minutes walk away from my Philadelphia studio, the Phonotechnion, in a building which I currently own. The only reason Donald Trump became president is because of Russian interference going on 10 years ago. Or is it 10 years ago? Nobody's reporting on it anymore, my friends. Right? And coming back from Comcast Universal, the 224 to the 501, and I was fitted with a Levi's shirt. I'm gonna sell rugs, my friends. I'm gonna be a rug vendor. I opened wide for the camera and they said, Sean, checkmate, my friend. You did it. Thank you. Gesundheit, Toshi. Thank you, baby. You know, it's just a shame that white people never learn. Right? I mean, Joaquin and I, we just keep talking about how we need, right, a people for the ethical treatment of human animals society, because damn, we treat each other badly, my friends. And Jimmy Kimmel's right. I don't understand. How come if the security in Butler, PA had identified Thomas Crooks, I'm Deep Throat, part 2. Everybody saw that this was going to be Nixon all over again. And whose building was I in today? Oh, thank you, Clintons, but it's not going to work. Right? It's Bill Clinton. Kill Bill. I want to kill Bill Clinton, my friends. That dude was a fucking retard. Right? Because it depends on what the meaning of is. So hate speech. I'm getting my eyes checked so I can get some new contacts. Of course, I can act without contacts, right? I mean, who needs contacts? Who needs outward sight when you have inner sight, right? So if I have Comcast Universal in one pocket and Condé Nast, Advanced Publications, let's talk about, right, AP economics, my friends. Charlie Kirk at 16 thought he knew more than Paul Krugman, a Nobel Prize-winning economist, and refused to learn any more, which is why I think he was on the payroll of the Israelis. I think that Turning Point USA was dark money funded. I think it was a grassroots AstroTurf operation. That's what I think it was. How come I ask again on 7/13, 2024, if local security had seen the would-be assassin of Trump 90 minutes beforehand, how come they didn't do anything? And yet they let Charlie Kirk just be wide open, exposed in broad daylight for some knucklehead confused kid in Utah, which, by the way, Jimmy is right. Utah is MAGA territory. They said just the week before that crime doesn't happen in red states. Well, look at the crime that happened in the red. You can't get more red than Utah. You can't get more conservative than a Mormon. So let's talk about facts, my friends. I saw that on a sign in a window in a passing bus going to Comcast Universal. Coming back, I saw 4444 at an AT&T building. Right? I mean, Melania has no sense of style, obviously. Look how matchy she was at Windsor, right? Where I also was today, my friends, across the street from Comcast Universal. I mean, the world is so small, my friends, right? I mean, if you ask me, that's my assessment of the situation, right? Trump's was staged to give him the edge in the election, and then Charlie either did or did not try to get out of bed with Israel. And then they took him out. That's basic. That's House of Cards, right? And House of Cards, by the way, card playing is the predominant metaphor that Donald Trump keeps using, and I've just out-Trumped him again, right? House of Cards. Right? I also think that, it's clear that Bill Ackman is on the payroll of the Israeli state. Obviously. Right? And Tucker Carlson was exactly right, my friends. Right? Bill Ackman, that is entitlement all over again, right? So easy for him, the definition of inherited wealth and nepotism, right? Which is fine, the nepotism part, everybody does that. But the wealth, right? Just given to him, and then it compounds, in his own words. He didn't have to do anything for it, it just compounds. How are you in a position to have that much capital to start, Bill, so that it can just compound, right? And then we have fucking, right, Brendan Carr, right? I mean, I associate Carr with Carl's Hill at the University of Virginia. And of course, I went to Syosset public schools where Judd Apatow and Natalie Portman also went, and Lady Gaga went to school just up Jericho Turnpike, my friend. So it's like we're all just looking at you, MAGA, right? We're all just looking at you, Brendan Carr. And let me just speak for myself. In my humble opinion, right, Brendan Carr looks like a white penis, right? And he is exactly the type of guy, the type of personality, right? The fucking know-it-all, right? Who can't even see, right, what's right before his eyes. Talk about Jimmy Kimmel appealing to a small audience. This dude was on a minuscule podcast. The dumbest genre there is, right? Because it's an oral idea presented visually, which makes zero sense, right? That's why I don't suck white dick, my friends, right? Los gringos, el dick de gringos, see? dumb as bricks, my friend. Me, however, I'm Marlon Brando. I say again, how matchy, Melania. Dior head to toe? No taste. What did I say? You cannot buy taste, my friends. Look the fuck. Magic. Look the fuck where Judd Apatow started. What did I just say? Come tumbling out. In these gusty winds of change, the times they sure are a-changin'. Excuse me while I clear my throat. It was one of those beautiful, ideal figs they tell about in the Greek legends. It couldn't be anything else, you being you. And that's what made it so sad. I'm doing Cat on a Hot Tin Roof crossed with Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, motherfuckers. That's right, you pinhead MAGA motherfucker out there. Each and every one of you pinhead motherfucker out there. Maggie. You gotta stop this. Brick, I tell you, you gotta believe me, Brick. I do understand all about it. I think it was noble. Can't you tell I'm sincere when I say I respect it? The only point that I'm making is life has got to be allowed to continue even after the dream of life is all over. Well, here's the punchline, my friends. The American dream is all over, and the American way of life is in tatters, burning. I say again, America is burning. And today I was cast as a rug vendor in a post-apocalyptic project. I said, I feel like I'm living in the apocalypse now. Vase K Oh my gosh. I'm surfing the wave. Oh my gosh, Jesus, take the wheel. Oh my gosh, people. Jesus Christ just came into my body. I'm charismatic. Oh gosh, I'm speaking in tongues. I am surfing the wave just like our Lord Jesus did. And I've got the fucking receipts right here, my friends. Potato, potato. But 1 + 1 still equals 2. Don't let anybody tell you it equals 3, my friends. I'm Sean MP. I'm gonna wrap it here at 20. right? Nobody watches linear TV anymore anyway, so all these legacy media brands can go the fuck away anyway. True story. There actually is a legit business case to be made here, but also Jimmy Kimmel is exactly right. It's on the government to explain what the fuck they're doing, right? Comedians everywhere, Conan, Steven, Jimmy, Sarah, and me, Sean MP, can say whatever the fuck we want. You know why? Because if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it, my friends. Right? Play chess. Speaking of which, look what Gary Kasparov is saying about the Putinization of America under Trump, right? They want you to think people with high educations like me don't know what we're talking about. Actually, the exact opposite. Ciao for now, I'm Sean B.